Week 5, guys. I have so much to say, and there just really isn't enough time. I'm not concerned about a single thing. As a matter of fact, I found something pretty interesting in AG's daily chart, and I believe its area that the price value that it's trading right now is the third time that this issue is happening. AG is way oversold for reasons that I'll be able to show you. And I think it's nothing more than a trick of the stock market trying to take us out of a very successful trade. And the reason I say that is because all the indications I've talked about since 2016, I set up rules that we should follow while buying a stock. And I think I'm going to be able to show you why those rules are such a great idea. Since December 2016, I've said we buy on a support trend line while the stochastics are oversold. That's where you buy. You do not sell a stock in that area. AG is in that area again. And I'm going to ease your minds at why you stay strong. Forget about these short-term moves, and I'll explain more. I know this isn't easy, but there's a lot of stuff we got to look at this week. Let's go. Volume first on AG. Still hasn't stopped. First, let's talk about the volume. The volume is the only 100% sure way that the possibility of the stock that you're in is going to run like a motherfucker. It's the only way. You could draw a million lines. If the volume is not there, it's not going to run. But Joe, it keeps falling in price. Maybe they're all selling. I've got an argument for that. And when we get to AG's daily chart, I've got a reason it's going to run up. Let's say I've got 5 reasons so far why it's going to run up. And the 6th reason is the one I'm really paying attention to always. It's another rule I established since December 20th, 2016. I'm looking for 6 hits on these patterns. And things are looking bright. The point of this video is to take your mind off of where you entered the stock. Let's take a look at the trade where I thought the best price available at $6.65 in December 2016 was the place. While I still think it's the righteous choice, although I could have done a lot better, obviously. But from the proof I've been looking at, things are still good. No technical breaks. AG monthly chart. I am convinced that this stock has been in a 9-year consolidation period, going back and forth. I am convinced, watching these professionals trade and pile into these stocks, they make them run up and they'll drive the value of these stocks down to zero. They do not give a shit. Their point is to keep their job, make money. That's what their banking system, whatever they're a part of. This isn't the blue-collar worker. This isn't you and I. This shit is not a coincidence. There's probability and statistics in college has taught me that this shit is just not going to happen on accident throughout every stock all over the stock market. I am looking at this as fact. Why should I not believe that these professionals are going to come start buying, especially after the volume that we've seen, and try and drive the value up to that $15 marker? It may not be legal for these guys to sit there and talk about this stuff, but these charts are another way for the professionals to communicate with each other. They're going to be the people who are going to drive this up. We're oversold now. We've been oversold. Look at that number 3 area. Look how sloppy and long it was. Did it stop them in 2016 to rally? No. Why be scared now? Seriously. Weekly chart in AG. Same damn thing. Look at the number 3 area when we hit on the support line and the stock was oversold. That was near the middle of 2015. Sloppy, long. Oh my gosh, could you imagine waiting a year in that stock? But wait, look what happened in 2016. Man, You could have waited the whole 15 year, got that rally, and I think it would have been a happy person. Haven't we always heard about these rules? You're in it for the long term. I tried the day trading shit, guys. Forget it. It's for the birds. Try and get the big rally. Maybe you don't get all of it. Maybe you got to wait on it. But when it happens, you're more likely to get something big. Could you imagine trying to make 1,000 trades throughout the year and figuring out how many times you're really going to be right? Even if it was 50-50, how much are you going to lose in 500 trades? I bought once. I'm going to sell once. I got a pretty good idea on that upper trend line where I might think about it. But I've also got reasons that number 6 hit is where it breaks out and goes another leg up. I know. Only time will tell. It could happen. Daily chart since we decided to buy December 20th, 2016. No matter what I say here, just hang with me. I know some of you are not going to like what I have to say, but these are the facts. We need to face them. This is the way you should be looking at it. Your buy price is absolutely insignificant in this trade. It will benefit you to stop thinking about it. Now let's take a look at what's happened over the past year. Number 1, right on the oversold, right where I said to buy was right where it bottomed out and took off. I impressed a few people, big fucking deal now. Now let's take a look at number 3. Same area, oversold on the trend line, bad earnings. But the yellow trend line is the extreme drop. Look at the white trend line just above the yellow one. That's also an oversold area. And I noticed in number 1, number 3, and now I see in number 5, this is where the professionals are really driving it down to that yellow trend line. And guess where we are right now? It is simple trading blasphemy since we've established these rules to sell a stock on a supporting year-long trend line while stochastics are oversold. This is where you buy a stock. I hope to God this gives you anyone peace of mind. You will make the wrong decision in exiting the stock right now. Let's just take a look at this closely. I'm not the most intelligent man on earth. That I can guarantee. But I've been able to make sense out of these patterns. We've got 5 hits. I know it's the professionals driving that value down. I seen a little bit of buying come back in on Friday. I know the volume has exceeded, it went up 34% in January. Now take a look at that. Sure, it dropped, but we're talking 100% increases every day. My opinion is that I'm 100% certain no matter what happens in this next week, maybe 2 weeks, like on number 3, it's staggered there. But you also had bad earnings there. We look at number 1, it came down, tagged it, and just took off like a rocket. Now we're number 5. Please have the peace of mind to know this is not a coincidence. There's no fucking way this is a coincidence. I want everyone to stay calm. Why wouldn't the professionals buy again on a lower price? They've done it for the past year. The US dollar is in waterfall selling. It's about to lose the 200. It's coming. All the indications I've talked about are happening. Gold and silver have pulled back so far. Why wouldn't they jump in it again? Use logic. Find peace of mind. The professionals do. We can too. All right, here's the weekly chart in silver since 2013. And I believe that we have a possible inverted head and shoulders pattern playing out. We've been in this for a long time now. It seems as if I always try and use those words possible, but I can even see the past week coming down to near where those trend lines are, the dotted black one and the solid black one. This has been going on for years. These are the professionals, bring it back down, get a better price. Stochastics are in the overbought area, or they were. They're slightly coming out. Doesn't mean they can't turn back up and buy or step back in. I don't see anything wrong with this. I am not going to get screwed up by short-term moves. It's what the market does. It's constantly going to do it. The other reason that that's a possible inverted head and shoulders is I believe it was 2014 is when it came down, and you look for this pattern after a pullback. I see nothing wrong here. I see constant support along the same trend lines for years. Stay where you are. This is not a time to exit. They are not selling silver off. I don't see it here. DO since 2016. Important lesson here. Was that a double bottom? We weren't able to answer it a few months ago. I'm confident now to say with 100% certainty, yes, it was a double bottom. Look at the buying that happened ever since. Now the most important thing to recognize is that DO's at 1681. Got the 200-day moving average right below us. Maybe we should exit and take profits. Yeah, maybe. But I notice we're oversold again. Last oversold area was around $10. I see a gap back near, shit, that's way down there. It's sort of scary. I do not like that. But I know we're $6 above the last oversold area. And if I'm going to follow the rules, I'm expecting a new trend, an upward trend to start taking place here. I think from that second double bottomed hit, I'm going to be able to draw a trend line soon. Very soon. I'm going to wait for the stochastics to exit the oversold area, and then that's where I'm going to draw the support trend line. And we're going to try and figure out what happens next. It's getting exciting. Crude oil futures. First, I want to take a look at a chart I posted last year. These the hatched lines over on the right hand side are areas where there were gaps from years ago. And I said we needed to keep an eye out on these areas because they're going to form resistance areas. And in this chart, you can even see that. I think it was around $53. I said we're going to find resistance, and that's exactly what happened. Now we're at the second one, where I said between 65, we'll just say 66, and high $63 area, we're going to see more resistance again. Now let's take a look at the most recent chart. Take a look at how we're right at that $65 area, and it seems to me that for the past couple weeks we might have found resistance. We've also found support on the 20 EMA, which is a good sign. Stochastics pulled down to no man's land. It's in there in the middle. We don't know what's going to happen. Crude oil futures might pull back a little bit. They have DO come retest the 200. I don't know the future. I can tell you the last candlestick in the crude oil futures right here is above that blue trend line. Friday's close found support on top of it. I've got a feeling crude oil might just keep running. That's my opinion. Let's see. To sum everything up, I want everyone to understand I am not going to benefit from making these movies and talking about this unless we all benefit from the trade. I believe in every single one of these pullbacks. Closing at the support trend line while being oversold is nothing more than the professionals driving the price to where they want to make the maximum amount of profits. It's how they communicate with each other to make the maximum amount of money. I am simply trying to follow them to do the same thing. I'm not the guy sitting here making the rules. I've learned these rules. I'm trying to talk about it, trying to make logic out of everything else here. And the best piece of advice that no matter what happens this week, you need to forget about where you purchased the stock, where I thought the best purchase price was in December 2016, and in the big picture, why it hasn't really dropped that far from there, and you can still logically call this a consolidation because I believe that's all this is. I am fully confident the professionals are coming back in, and I see that in the volume. Keep watching it. Market's fucking with your mind. Don't let it. Stand your ground, guys. Good things are on the way.